Good morning, you guys. Good morning. Good morning. So this morning we're looking at the news. We're looking at the news because um, some we've seen some things happen in the news which are different than what would normally happen. So we saw Woody Harrelson go on a very woke TV program, and kind of blat out the truth about Big Pharma and the COVID hoax, and big big like he called them a mafia group, right? Creating a problem and then a solution and then forcing everybody to take it so they could get rich and have control over you. So that was on a very woke television program. They've become very woke over the years. And then we've got Tucker Carlson right now, and he is releasing the January 6th footage, and that's on a more conservative station. So I wanted to know, what is going on with our news stations, okay? One of the things that I had been asked to look into the month of March was, would there be an EBS in the month of March? And so, yeah, anyway, I didn't ask that question. I wanted a story around our news stations. I wanted to know what's going on, because clearly something's going on. So what I got is that they're holding on in celebration, you guys. And across from that, the hermit is shining his light on the world. Now, what's driving this entire reading, right? I found this very interesting. They're holding on in celebration. The hermit shining the light on the world. So that to me looked as though there's some good guys in these systems now. So the energy driving this entire reading is using information to plant seeds strategically. Okay? Now we know that that's how the news has always worked. They've used information to plant seeds strategically to keep us in these low vibrations. It's been quite a strategy for them to keep us in these low vibrations, manifesting for the cabal for free, keeping people in fear, keeping them upset, and using our adrenaline and our fear and what we now believe as we project that out into the world and talk about it and co-create it, right? They have us working for them for free. So that's what the news has always been about, but it would seem as though there's a shift. They are hanging on in celebration because now there's a light being shown on the world, this information, seeds being planted strategically. So you can look at this both ways, right? There's been a shift, it seemed to me. So I asked, does this mean that the news is going to begin telling the truth? And what I got was, there's going to be very strong stories in the news, you guys, truths coming to the surface that will be hyper focused on. But they'll be cherry picked, right? Because she's very sovereign. And so she chooses what happens. So she, if you go back up and look at this again, so she will cherry pick the news that's going to be hyper focused on, which is going to bring things up from the surface and tell the truth. But these stories will be strong, they'll be valid, they'll hold value. So they're going to be a big deal, the stories that do come out. So then I said, will we get an EBS this month? Will we get an EBS? And right now, they feel like an EBS would still create despair and chaos. So moving forward, they want to break this new ground. And so moving forward, they are breaking new ground because they're cherry picking stories to bring out and hyper focus on these stories to bring up truth. And they're strong stories that's going to help things. They're shining a light to the world in a new way moving forward, breaking some new ground. So they're trying something different. Truths are actually coming out. So no, I would say an EBS in the month of March isn't actually going to happen because they're moving forward, breaking new ground, bringing out strong stories, uncovering truths, hyper-focusing on them, one story at a time, you guys, as they shine a light to the world, right? And help to use this information to plant seeds strategically, in the people who haven't been aware of some of these truths. So I said, these news stations, they're operating differently. These news stations, are they operating differently? And I got that there's people working these news stations now, creating a death and a rebirth of these news stations. And that's why there's the ability to shine a light on the world. That's why they can move forward, breaking new ground. That's why they can cherry pick stories, hyper focus on them, bring the truth out, and have these truths that come out actually be like big truths of value for people to hear. So I said, all right, then, so does that mean that these news stations have been completely taken over by the good guys then? And I get the high priestess. So no, they haven't completely been taken over by the good guys. They've been, so there's some good guys and some bad guys still. But it looks as though the good guys would have enough control in the situation so that, they're able to shine these lights on the world, move forward, breaking new ground, and bring these stories out, the really strong ones. So I would say the people that matter, the people that have the clout, are working for the good side, right? So then the second card up is, even though there's still bad guys in there, the people that do have clout, there is judgment that's happening within this system, and it's bringing judgment upon these cabal creeps. So you guys know that this is my cabal card, my bad guy card. So there's enough good guys in here that judgment is raining down on the cabal creeps. They're going to hyper focus. They're going to cherry pick stories, hyper focus on them, bring out the truth. These are going to be strong stories that can make a difference. The Hermit's going to be shining a light on the world. They're moving forward, breaking new ground. So hanging on in celebration, because you know what? Even though these stations have lost a lot of views, there are those hardcore people that will just never move away from it. And I've been saying that for a long time, that either an EBS has to happen, which would probably make people just lose their shit, or they've got to start reporting truths. So it looks like they're going to be reporting some truths, one truth at a time, so that they can give that information and get those seeds planted strategically. So not to overwhelm people like an EBS would and create the chaos. So one truth at a time, right? Right now, as the energy stands. So as the energy stands right now, you guys, there isn't going to be an EBS. But they are moving forward, breaking new ground, shining a light to the world, truths that will have value and strength as they tear down this old system and rebuild it, and as they bring the judgment out upon these cabal players. So I think that's pretty good. I mean, I think that's pretty good. So now I'm going to ask, I think that's good. I do kind of agree that some people would lose their crap. As much as we would like to see that, I do think people need to be kind of warmed up. You don't just, when I start telling somebody that hasn't been digging down rabbit holes for as long as I have, or haven't been a conspiracy theorist for as long as I have, the first thing that I start them off with isn't that, the substance that they drink that starts with an A, or that they use that starts with an A. That's not what I start people out with. I start people out small, right? And I think that they're starting them out with some good, strong stories, but things that they can handle before something as big as the EBS happens. So, I'm asking off of this reading if there's anything that you want to leave us with, if there's anything that Spirit wants to leave us with regarding this type of questioning that we've been having. I'm just going to shuffle these up a little bit. So kind of around this questioning, the news, the EBS, the way these stories are coming out, is there any information that Spirit wants to leave us with regarding how things are being done right now in the media? Anything? We're being moved out of troubled water, you guys. Our prayers are being answered. Justice is coming, you guys. And it's going to come in many forms. Okay? So the magician has so many skills and so many tools, many, many, many things that he can do. Right? A lot of skills there. So, as I say, what does Spirit want to leave us with today? They're assuring us we're being moved out of troubled water. Our prayers are being answered. Justice is coming in many ways. In many ways. Whew. So I think that's pretty good, you guys. I'm going to leave it there. We got a pretty good story around this news and kind of what they're doing right now. So no, not an EBS in March, but what they are doing is going to create a significant, they're moving forward, breaking that new ground, creating stories, not creating them, but uncovering stories, hyper-focusing on true stories, cherry-picking stories that hold value and strength, that will start getting people ready for that so that the hermit can shine the light. Remember, he's under here. The hermit. He's shining the light on the world. And what they wanted to leave us with was for us to know that we're being moved out of troubled water. Our prayers are being answered. Justice is coming in many, many forms, you guys. So I hope you found a little value in all of that. Please do. You know what? I always forget to do this because when you're channeling, you forget to do this. And when you're working with Spirit, you just don't remember to do this. But I always forget to say that if you found some value in this, please do like, please do share, comment, subscribe, hit the all notification buttons. It helps the algorithm. It helps me because all of that, it's sort of like it helps me beat the algorithm. And then it gets these messages out to more people. And then it gets the healing out to more people, you guys. So if everybody, just took a minute to hit that like or comment or whatever, it changes the algorithm so that this stuff gets out to more people. And so if you guys find a little value in this, please do. That's a nice exchange of energy, right? I'm doing this, and then you just exchange the energy with hitting the like. So, yeah, if you find some value in it. Anyways, that's what I'm getting, you guys. All of the healing intentions are set. Lots and lots of healing, lots and lots of love. If you guys are open to it, if your soul is open to it, you will always receive it. That's why I never felt the need to, I didn't really, when I started doing these, the intention has always been for healing, always. But I didn't say because I just didn't think people were ready to hear it, honestly, 3 years ago. So now I'm saying, and the reason why I tell you guys is because if your soul is open to the healing, you'll receive it. But there's this big shift that happens when we decree something. So when we stand in our power and we decree that we're taking on the healing for only our highest and greatest good, it's a huge shift. It's a huge shift. So that's why I'm going ahead, and every day I'm saying, if you want this healing, stand in your power and decree it for only your highest and greatest good, because it really does shift things, and it adds power to it, you guys. Adds power to you and adds power to the healing that you have chosen to use to heal yourself, if that makes sense to you. All right, you guys. So until next time, I do hope that you found a little value in this. Breathe in that healing. It's good for you if you want it. Sending you so many blessings and so much love. And no, it doesn't look like the EBS is going to happen this month, but it does look like things are shifting and we're going to get more truths. And they're going to be strong. They're getting people ready. They're getting people ready for the big truths, I think. So that's pretty exciting. The worm's turned, you guys. I really think it has. All right, until next time, much, much love and many, many blessings from me to all of you. Take care.